Greetings Jellyspoons, welcome back to another Monday Madness. This video is a celebration video for me. It's actually an anniversary. It's September 2021, which means it has been 4 years since I made my first ever costume and took my first steps down the road of this insane cosplay creating journey that I have been on. As always, I've been told it's the professional thing to do to advertise my other services, and I have many other services. If you'd like to support me on Ko-fi or Patreon, you can do so. Patreon starts from $3 a month. My Patreons are currently the only people who know the cosplay I am working on this month. I've dropped a few hints on Instagram, but nobody's guessed it yet, so my Patreons are the only people who know. It's going to be a really interesting surprise. They also get photos of my dog, behind the scenes things, etc, etc, and they get to vote in various polls and stuff like that. If you want to support me on Ko-fi because you don't want to do it every month, that's absolutely fine. Ko-fi, you can do whatever you would like as and when. And also on my Ko-fi page, you can find my commissions! I do personalised in-character messages for birthdays, occasions, Tuesdays, whatever you would like. The full character list is available on my Ko-fi commissions page, go check that out. It includes Peter Pan and Mollymauk tea leaf. I miss my oat milk. September 2017. Dear Diary. Casual musical theatre reference because I do musical theatre content on this channel as well. 4 years ago, I had never made a costume before in my entire life. I was a drama student and a theatre kid. I am still a raging theatre kid now. I was interested in performing, and while I appreciated everything that people did backstage, especially our amazing techies that I met through school and uni, I had absolutely no desire to be one of the backstage people at all. While I do sometimes look back on particularly my teenage years in high school and wish that I had taken some sort of sewing class and learned how to sew much earlier on in my life, I'm actually very happy with the way things turned out. So this is not a tale of regret, despite the fact that sometimes I may look back and complain to myself and go, why? Why didn't you just do it? The reason is because I had no interest in it at the time. I had no idea that at some point in my future life I would be staring transfixed at a screenshot I'd taken from a movie going, why? Why won't you just turn around and show me where that belt buckle attaches to? Yet the joy of that was yet to come. In September of 2017, I was getting ready to attend my first ever convention. It was a local Comic-Con that I had never heard of before, and I was determined that I was going to go in full costume. So, with absolutely no experience and no idea what the hell I was doing, and no sewing machine, I got myself a bunch of thread, some needles, some pins, a huge stack of felt, and I made myself a Keyleth costume. Bing! It actually didn't turn out too badly, considering it was a first attempt. And most importantly, it didn't fall off me. I wore it to my first ever Comic-Con, and I knew that I was never going to attend a Comic-Con again without being in full costume. I'm a drama kid and an attention seeker, what can I say? Adore me, please. I think about 6 or 7 months after I had made my first costume, Keyleth, I decided to try my hand and make another one. I was going to another convention with some friends in Birmingham, and I wanted to have a different outfit. In a trend that has become repeatedly repetitive with me, I had just watched something brand new and decided I really wanted to cosplay one of the characters. So that was what I made. I went to the hardware store, I bought lots of fake chain, I bought hooks and rivets and upholstery fabric, and I fashioned myself this. This is an outfit from The Curse of Sleeping Beauty, a very little known horror movie. It's actually not bad. The script is a little cringy in places, but overall story and aesthetics-wise, very, very good. I decided I wanted to make this outfit, and to this day, I have not managed to find anyone else who has ever cosplayed this character, so I think I can claim this as a win. Next up came my Larp costume. Now, you guys may have seen my video about my Larp experiences, particularly at Fuzzball School of Witchcraft in the UK. Bing! See this video up here. Very cool, highly recommend you go. Now, this was my second time attending the school that I had helped to kickstart and fundraise, and I was going as a magnificent character called Fifi Lex. He was a lovable fawn student in his 3rd year who loved causing absolute mayhem with his best friend Vovo, playing tricks, pranks, and singing songs and getting everyone to join in with High School Musical dance routines. As such, I needed to make myself my first ever pair of curly horns, some fluffy trousers, and I decided, because I really loved Mollymauk, that Fifi was going to have a huge Technicolor patchwork coat as well. This was no small task, but I did it. I still wear the furry trousers sometimes, and I do intend to use them when I do my full Donkey from Shrek the Musical cosplay. It is coming, it will probably be in November. And now we come to the character that I am probably most well known for cosplaying, which is of course Mollymauk Tea Leaf. My first Mollymauk was not good. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'll put a picture up. My first Molly was not good, but I was learning, and that's the important thing. I still look back on this Molly very fondly. I wore him to conventions, it was great fun. Almost immediately after attending my first con as Mollymauk, I decided to start remaking my Mollymauk cosplay and getting it a whole lot better. I really wanted to make the coat with personal touches. I designed my own version of his coat because I don't always stick to canon very much at all. And I decided to give him little snippets of every single character. I wanted to do daggers and arrows for Vex and Vax. I wanted to give him a thing for every single character. I wrote, how do you want to do this, in embroidery along the hood. I gave him Grog's tattoos on the hood as well, various things like that. And that coat took a ridiculously long time to do. I also made myself a brand new tail that I still wear today when I go out as Molly. I made another set of brand new horns and did them much better as well. My horns are getting better as I go along. I braved wearing contact lenses for the first time and have never looked back. And I wore my brand new, I think 3rd version of Molly, this was, to a local Comic-Con. And I actually ended up winning the cosplay competition. Which still makes me go, that was back in 2019 and I'm still not over it, as you can tell. It was one of the most magical and defining moments of my entire life, and it wasn't winning, if that makes sense. It was the fact that judges who judge cosplay a lot looked at what I was wearing and thought that it was good. And that sounds really obvious because obviously I thought it was good and I really enjoyed wearing it, but there's a huge difference between thinking something that you have done is pretty good for you. Like, for me, this is pretty good, you know? And someone else who is standing there wearing an amazing costume that they also have made looks at you and says, no, that is good. And that feeling of reassurance that I got, that was what hit me more than the medal that I got. And don't get me wrong, the medal is awesome and I still have it. But yeah, other people from the community telling me, nah, you're getting good at this. Yeah, that. Huge, 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 huge. And yeah, the spiral begins from there, pretty much. It might sound a little sad and strange to say this next sentence, but for me it is true and I own it. TikTok is entirely responsible for the rest of the cosplays that I made. Partly because of the encouragement from the friends and followers that I had, and partly because I saw other cosplayers who did more than just one character, and I realized that just because your favorite cosplay is one character, that doesn't mean that you only have to do that one character. One of the first other cosplays that I decided to make was for my absolute favorite character of all time. Mollymauk is number 2, and this character will always be my number 1, Peter Pan, of course. Anyone who knows me will know it's Peter Pan. I used vine leaves and scrappy patchwork fabric, and I made a Peter Pan outfit that I really loved. I started cosplaying as him and making TikTok videos and taking pictures, and absolutely loved it. Then one of my friends got me to watch The Dragon Prince with them and said that they were going to be making a Runan cosplay and wondered if I would like to make an Ithari one. I watched it and immediately went, yes! I am very dangerous, never show me a new thing, especially if it's fantasy. I will 9 times out of 10 find a character that I will fixate on and go, I want to make that costume. So I decided to give it a crack. And the first thing that I made was a lotus flower out of wire. Initially I just tried to see if I could, but when it worked, I was so impressed with myself that it became a huge part of the cosplay. So I made that lotus flower and then I made the rest of Ithari. I made his horns with magnets, that was interesting. I tried foam for the first time. I used a lot of the embroidery skills that I'd started to teach myself with my Mollymauk coat so that I could embroider all the details onto Ithari's tunic and onto his arm pieces as well. When I was done, I was ridiculously impressed with what I created. Have a look. My Ithari from the Dragon Prince costume is probably the most canon accurate cosplay that I have ever made. And I really want to get back into him, and I will do sometime soon. I'm sort of waiting for the next season to hopefully drop and come out so that it's more relevant when I cosplay as him, but I may get back into him sometime soon anyway. After this, I decided, hell, I can do anything I want, and so I decided to revamp my Peter Pan costume. My Peter Pan 2.0 was so much better, and I still wear it today when I'm filming all of my commission videos. When I was finishing my Ithari costume and starting my new Peter Pan one, we were in about February of 2020. This meant that the global pandemonic was starting to happen and the locky-downy time was beginning. I was looking at having several weeks, if not months, of no work and nothing to do at home. So I decided to go full throttle and just see what else I could create. In swift succession, I made a steampunk apron and decorated it with all the accessories. I made a jacket for Keith from Voltron because my friend wanted to do some joint cosplays. I made a cloak and a shirt for the Dick Turpin Highwayman music video that I made with several other cosplayers during lockdown. Here is a link to that video. It is a parody of the Horrible History song and it was great fun. I also started my 4th Mollymauk cosplay, a brand new coat full of embroidery and different details. I'm still working on it now, but it is a back burner project because it is so massive and it is very easy to completely lose yourself when you're just doing embroidery day after day after day. So I work on it a little bit here and there, and one day I will have it finished, but for now I am focusing my energy on other projects as well. In November of 2020, I set myself a 30 days of cosplay challenge. For every day of November, I would do a photo shoot for a different character and a different cosplay. Some of which I had, and some of which I had to make brand new. I made a blue hoodie and hand painted on all the frost for Jack Frost from Rise of the Guardians. I made a costume for Siren from the webtoon comic Castle Swimmer, and I even attempted to turn myself into Darren Brown. And so we come to 2021 this year, and my biggest challenge yet. I set myself my 12 months of cosplay challenge, and every month I have made a brand new costume. I'll link the playlist up here. It's my 12 months of cosplay playlist. Every month I have a vlog to tell you how I made the costume that I did, and slowly going insane over it. It's great fun, give it a watch. What I will say is that over lockdown and my 12 months of cosplay project, I have learned not just about different cosplay techniques in sewing and fabrics and resourcing and eventually machine sewing. Yep, I have braved it. Last month I started actually using my sewing machine. It's been a time, but I'm getting there. I'm braving it. The thing that I learned was that it's never too late. I don't say this as an elderly person looking back on their life. I just say this as someone who is way closer to 30 than I am to 20, who has genuinely become a completely different person to who I was when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So this video may have been a little bit misleading. It isn't actually about my cosplays and how much better I've got at sewing and how amazing and happy I am that I found this hobby. It's actually about no matter where you are in life, whether you're up, down, left, right, happy, sad, confused, totally settled on what you're doing, wherever you are, it is never too late to try something new and add something else into your life. Never be afraid to try something just because at the beginning, you'll be a beginner and you won't necessarily be very good. I am still learning, but I'm better than I was, and I am so glad that I stuck with it and tried, because where I am now is utterly amazing. And as I said, I am a pretty different person to how I was when I started. So to anybody who is still here, thank you. Thank you for watching the video, my wonderful Jellyspoons. I appreciate you all more than you will ever know. And do the thing. You know what I'm talking about? Only you know what I'm talking about. Everyone else might have something different. You know what I'm talking about. So go do the thing, Jellyspoons. Go do the thing.